Welcome back to the channel, you guys. Welcome back to Ironclad RC. I'm Big B. So today we're going to do a little bit of soldering. I'm kind of in the mood and I got a lot of soldering to do for that Bulgarian 57 out in the shop. This is a 5670 TP motor, two of them, two 300 amp SEAKINGs. We're basically just going to solder up one QS8 on the 300s here, and then we're going to make a series harness that fits that boat perfect. So we'll be soldering the 8mm bullets on here and a series harness ×2. So I'm just kind of in the mood to do some soldering, right? I figured I would film maybe half of it, you know, maybe just one side for each side, you know. So stick around. So we got a bag full of QS8 connectors here. This is the V3 QS8, the 600 amp burst rated, okay, V3. And I got some 8 gauge wire here. We got 8mm bullets. We're going to be using some 96.3 silver solder, 100 watt Weller. Okay, I know you guys are going to see all these motors. Just so you guys know, all these motors don't work, right? Some of them I just can't bear to put in the boneyard because they are repairable, you know. Some of them work, but the bearings may be locked up, right? Some of them work but need to be cleaned. Some of them need to be rewound, you know, like this triple S motor here. It needs a new magnet, so I keep it around, you know. The motor stator and everything's good. I just can't bear to throw them in the boneyard, you know. So I would say maybe 70% of these motors are in good working order, and then the other 30% needs some type of work done to it before it hits the water, you know. And if you're like me, you're a pack rat and you just can't throw nothing away, you know what I mean? So like this Firma V2 motor here, it works. I had to resolder all 3 of the wires back on, and I just hadn't run it since then because I got a new motor for that boat, you know. So it may look like I got a shit ton of motors. I guess I do, but not all of them freaking work. So yeah, anyway, so I already got one soldered up, right? So I'm gonna go ahead and put that cap in there. Let's go ahead and do the ESC first so I can get these bad boys off the bench, and we'll do the motor bullets. Okay, so I like to use my little cheater. Also, it just helps, right? So I'm not going to talk through this. I'm just fast forward through it, you know, and you guys can just kind of watch me do my thing here, right? Watch me do my thing. I love this thing right here. Golly. Oh man, who sent this to me? I've had it for a while. One of my viewers sent it to me. I mean, I'm sure they're cheap enough, but I would never have bought this, right? It's so freaking awesome, man. I use it all the freaking time, you know? All the time. Like, that's probably, well, when I do my soldering, that's probably one of the most used items that I use for soldering, other than the solder itself. Flux. Get everything fluxed up. Man, this is fluxed up. Alright, let's clean this tip because I've had this iron on for a hot minute. Woo! 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 Did you guys see that? I just stuck it right in my hand. Woo! 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 Tighten up. B. Alright. yeah, typically I don't do these solder videos, you know. Everybody's so judgmental on YouTube in the comments when you solder, you know. And I usually just don't even mess with making these videos. But I've actually gotten a little bit better at soldering over the years. You know, I'm sure there's better methods, but my solder technique, my solder jobs have been coming out pretty good here lately, so I figured I would share with you guys, you know. Maybe help some of the new guys in the hobby, show you that you don't need all the fancy helping hands and stuff to really do a good solder job. You know what I'm saying? You just got to make sure your solder iron, the most important part is having a good iron, you know. That is pretty. Look at that. Solder porn. I know a lot of you guys just had to go get a napkin. I know. I tend to do that. So this is what I like to do with my motors. I actually use my foam boat stand here. And I'll actually put my motor in that boat stand, right? And then what I'll do is I use this old Allen right here. And I'll put it in my vise at an angle. Okay, boom, boom, boom. Get it real tight so it don't move. Okay, and I put my bullet in here, right? And what I like to do, oh, I don't have my blowtorch in here, it's out in the shop. What I actually like to do is I'll actually heat up this. I'll heat this up, you know, so it's not cold inside this bullet, right? Well, I usually heat it up with a torch. I guess I could walk my fat ass out there and go get it, but I'm not, right? I'm not. Okay, so we're gonna flux it. Okay, where's my acid brush at? Okay, here it is. We're gonna flux this bullet. I try not to get it outside the bullet, because it, like that, if you get the flux outside the bullet, the solder will like travel outside the bullet a lot easier, right? So try to keep it in the bullet. Now, how I solder a motor wire. I don't use the wire wrapped around it. I don't bend the end, which you can. I think the reason they bend the end of the wire or wrap wires around it is to help save solder, which makes sense because solder is pretty expensive, you know. So I basically got this wire bent. You see that? I got my motor on that boat stand. I got this wire bent so I can basically just pick it up and set it right in there, right? So I'm heating up my bullet. May take a minute because this is my first bullet. Once this Allen gets warm, it's starting to warm up now. The next one will heat up quick, you know. There we go. Yeah, because that's a lot of solder that goes in that cup right there, you know. Okay, put my wire in, and then I just make sure that I usually try to melt solder on my wire. See, I'm melting that solder on the wire, so I know the wire's hot, right? I know that wire's hot enough. It's not a cold joint because I just melted solder on the wire. You feel me? So I know this solder joint is legit, right? I just know it. Okay. Sorry, my hands are dirty, boys. I've been working on props. Got tired of working on props, so I was like, you know what? Let's do some soldering. Check these puppies out. Ooh wee! Getting them sharpened and balanced. They're supposed to be balanced, I thought. They definitely weren't. They look good, don't they? 67-17s. Hopefully they're not too big. Actually reducing the blade area substantially while I work on them, so we don't get nothing super hot when we run them on this Bulgarian. Big B Boda props right there, boy. Big B Boda props. Come on. Come on. Are you supposed to stick your bullet in the tip cleaner? Nah, I doubt it. I doubt it. But, like I said, everybody has their own way. Okay, so I went ahead and removed all that stock heat shrink because we're actually using this marine heat shrink. And the marine heat shrink has an adhesive on the inside, a sealant. So if we were to have run the marine heat shrink and then you have the stock heat shrink like this, right? It's not, water can still seep in through here. I guess we could have went all the way over it, right? But actually we're going to go straight to the wire, right? Straight to it. Ooh, I cut that one. What the hell? I cut that way too freaking long. Let's shorten that up. This stuff right here, I do not want to waste it, so I'm going to keep this little cut off. Keep that. Damn, that looks good. Okay, so that's actually going to get plugged into this beauty right here, the 300. Come on. Boom, 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 like so. Right. All right. Let's go. Let's go. I'm gonna go ahead and do this other motor off camera, and then we'll go out to the shop and get some measurements for the series harness. Okay, so we're actually gonna go ahead and get a connector on here. That way we could put it on the battery, right? So we're gonna use a male connector because that plugs into the battery, right? And let's see, so let's see, I got more black wire than I do red wire, so how am I going to do this? Okay, let's go ahead and do the negative. That just kind of works out in the boat. Just put it in there and just checking things out. This harness is going to be very important aspect of this boat, right? So we got to do it the right way. I don't want a whole bunch of wire. I want to keep it as short as I possibly can, but we need to make sure we can get the batteries as far forward where they need to be at, right? But at the same time reducing the wire, you know. Where's my salt? Man, I'm having a heck of a day today, you guys. Whew. Great googly moogly, one of them damn days. I wish I could go ahead and tin all the wires, but it's just not going to happen, you know. Just can't. I just don't know how long the wires need to be first connector harness should be fairly simple. I mean, a little bit harder. The second one will be simpler, you know, much easier to make, because we'll have everything kind of worked out for the first one. See what I'm doing there? Just kind of heating this wire up and feeding solder onto the actual wire itself. See that? See it soaking up this solder. Okay, that wire's tinned. Okay. So we'll go ahead and put this on a positive connection on the positive, or negative, excuse me, male connection, negative wire, negative, cheat code, right? We don't need to put a back on it or anything right now. Still early in the game. I'm going to go ahead and plug this in. To that forward battery connector. Okay. Boom, boom, boom. So push the battery all the way forward. I'm going to push the ESC all the way back. It's not going to be there. It'll be about right here, right? Just to make sure we have enough. So this is the forward connection, right? Let's go ahead, put the cap on, put another cap on, and we'll go ahead and put a female connector on. Okay? Yeah, let's do that. We're gonna put one cap on. That's gonna go onto this one, right? We're gonna put another cap on. That will go to that female. Female's right here. Don't necessarily need a connector on the inside of that one. Okay, so this is gonna be negative, right? Negative is the round side. Okay, negative. So everything's going off of this connector basically, right? Oh yeah, let's go ahead and tin this wire. Gotta have this tinned up. I've actually fluxed my wire without tinning it for these QS8s and just let it sit in the cup of the bullet for a minute, and it'll tin itself. But we're gonna do it the right way because this ain't my boat. Okay, so now let's go back to the boat. Okay, so this is going into the ESC. Okay, this is going to the forward battery. And really, this one right here, right? So this one right here can be real short, you know? So we're just going to put a little wire, boom, off of this one. Okay, anytime I have a little bubble or a blob of solder like that, this is what I like to do while it's still warm. I'll heat that bubble up. And boom. You see that? It's gone. Where'd it go? Okay. So that's gonna go there. Let's go check it out on the boat. Of course. Man, I gotta get that damn ESC tray epoxied in. It's driving me nuts. Okay, so we'll just do it like this. That's all the way forward. Okay, so that's gonna go. Yeah. That's good. Alright. Good deal. Now, the hard decision. Do we want to go black wire or red wire, right? Okay, because we're going positive, negative to positive, and then negative out. I guess we'll just use a red wire. Why not? We got plenty of it. I was afraid we weren't. So that's what it's going to look like when it's all done, right? Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and get this one soldered up. That's good. Okay. This one's going to go to here, like so. Go ahead and tin this. Boom. Don't forget to put it in your little cup. That's a positive, so we need to back it. Some dielectric grease here. Dielectric grease. Clean up the flux. Treat the wire all in the same shot. So we're going to plug these guys here in. Come on, baby. Don't give me a hard time. Come on, baby. Don't give me a hard time, baby. Alright, so I've got both of my series harnesses made up, okay, extended so we can get the batteries up forward. The bullets are on, the connectors are on the ESC, so pretty much got 99% of the wiring squared away here. So basically, I'm going to plug this into the forward battery, okay, and then I'm going to plug it into the back battery, right? Boom, boom, boom. Now we'll plug it into the ESC. We can push our batteries forward and basically tuck our harness down into the sponson, okay? It'll be a little more nice and tidy. All this is going to be hidden once we get the boat built, but you guys get the idea. Now we can get our batteries all the way forward with a little wiggle room. Not much, just a little bit. Once we get a little farther in the build and I want to consolidate some of the wire, you know, I was thinking maybe we should, maybe we can shorten this up. Maybe we can lengthen this, or we'll see, but this will get us going, and if we need to change anything up in the future, we can. It's no problem, right? So this is about where everything's going to be at. Today I've been working on the water intakes. I got this one done, this one's in, it just needs to be reinforced, right? I got the hydraulics on the boat bolted up, the rudder's bolted up, the drives are installed. I took them out so I can work on the water pickups, but I'm about to put the cables on these pistons right here for the pull cable and work on the steering, and try to get either the steering worked out next or the battery trays. I need to get the battery trays in before I put the motors in, because it's going to be easy to get to, because they're going to be mounted like literally up in here, and it's going to be some kind of a bitch to get to. So with that said, I'll see you guys next time. The harness actually come out pretty good. Oh, I need to push that in, but yep, it turned out pretty nice. Pretty nice. All my solder joints look pretty good. And yeah, I'm gonna let you go. It's a long video. Check out my channel, go to the community section, post pictures of your builds, ideas, products you find that may be helpful to the boat gang. Like my videos, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.